So there was a study that came out recently that showed how younger Catholic priests are more traditional, faithful to Catholic teaching, I think, than the older generation. So why do you guys think that is?
I have a theory.
Don't worry, I don't think the older generation are going to be watching this podcast.
I have a theory. I think it was priests ordained before the year 2000. I think there were 70% like progressive, and then the ones ordained after 2000 are 8% progressive. So that's a huge tidal wave change, you know? I mean, that's a huge shifting. The 1960s, specifically 1968, was a huge year. That was the, you know, whatever we call it, the hippie decade, or it was a major progressive movement in the West. It was largely a rejection of tradition. Everything was kind of headed in this way. And I think the church was caught up in that, and the priests ordained in that era, or that grew up in that era and were ordained afterwards, like in the 80s or so, were children of that generation and children of that movement. The reason why I think priests now, and I think the article, if I'm not mistaken, says that most priests are pretty moderate politically, which is, I think, quite good. The reason why I think priests now are mainly going back to tradition is because I think that the church lives off of tradition. The church is the bearer of the tradition of salvation history, of the Bible, and of the West, actually, too. So I think that's the normal home of the church, is that it's rooted in a tradition, a longstanding tradition that goes back millennia.
Yeah, but where did it come from to, like, let's not go backwards? You know what I'm saying? Like the backwards way of thinking. Some priests just want to move forward and they want to be modern, and they see that as bad.
That's more from outside of the church than it is within. Within
but
the
it
church,
creeps its way in, right?
It crept its way in big time in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And then it affected the entire church. And they had this purely forward way of thinking to the exclusion of looking backwards. The church, the way that it operates in a healthy manner, is it is looking forward while looking backwards at the same time. It's looking backwards to learn and looking forward to see how we apply what we've taken for the future generations. But it can never have this exclusion of one to the other. So I think both extremes are really off kilter, whether it's pure progressive, like we're only looking for the future, and purely traditionalist is also equally damaging, I think.